You are probably here because you want to know how the outfits in GTA work. What are the magic tricks to get clothing like on this outfit that shouldn't fit together? How can you make your characters look better in the clothing? And probably a few of you want to know how to get a massive competitive advantage in PvE from just having the better outfit than your opponent. And I will go over all of that today. I'm going to show you at first some examples, like this one. Or let's go even more extreme, like this thing, for example. You may have seen this somewhere and someone told you, oh, I'm never going to tell you how to get this, blah blah blah, because they are too scared someone might use it. Or, for example, what makes this outfit really different from this one, outside of just the color? Or why something like this is far less camouflaged than something like this, even though they are, again, the same color. So let's start with the very basics of outfits. I'm going to show you these things using a tool called Binko Hacks. It is basically a perfectly safe tool that you can use even offline in GTA that just edits the memory on your computer so you can have almost any combination of clothing you want. So, for example, this is the sort of interface you will see in all of these tools for editing outfits, where you have two numbers for each slot. I'll go over all of these slots, and each of these numbers here is 2 times. Actually, technically 4 times, but ignore the gray parts right now. The first number here is the type of mask I'm wearing right now, and the second one is the color for it. This is not universal, just because for this mask, color 0 is black, that doesn't apply to others. It's almost random. Like there are some sort of patterns you can see, but generally you just need to have a page, like some of those I have linked in my Discord, where it tells you what clothing is represented by what number, and even some of them tell you the color combinations, at least those that are possible. So let's start from top to bottom. As I mentioned, the first slot you probably should think about is what you were wearing on top of your head. This is, especially for PvP, one of the most important things, because the quad lens helmet, which I would highly recommend you to use over any of the other ones, is not only bullet resistant, meaning you will be either a 2-shot to the marksman rifle and similar higher damage weapons, or a 1-shot to heavy sniper as usual, but almost 3 shots to die to regular weapons. That's why I often say that the automatic rifles, combat MG, SMGs and what not in this game are so weak, because they need to hit you 3 times in the head to kill you, and like 12 times into the body, which is horrific compared to the better weapons. But this helmet also gives you thermal vision, which is one of the most powerful things in this game, and oftentimes is like the entry level of how to get even remotely competent at fighting people. For example, I can see the entire body of this guy on the right side here, even though I should be only able to see his head. For example, I even see him right now, even though I shouldn't be able to see anything from him. I can even easily notice the person right here, though without that, I have no chance of spotting them. Like, if someone would be standing there aiming a gun at me, I would have never noticed. Also, this helmet looks way better in my opinion than most of the other bulletproof options, because it more resembles real life combat helmets. And as you have seen, all you need to do is you go to the accessories in your interaction menu and use the same key as you are using for the phone special option. I can show you right now which one that is. because some people have had issues with this. If you go here, it uses this one. It doesn't use the jump key, it doesn't use whatever other key you might have me thinking of. This is the one it uses for selecting the thermal vision, which is rather strange. But it's probably quite important to some people when you need to do it quickly. Now the second slot, also rather important in PvP, and that is if we load this current outfit. Yeah, that's another thing, you need to be in this menu. You can see the mask I'm using right here. I'm not entirely sure why it has two slots for the head, but the 117 and 0 is the quad-lens helmet. And the mask I'm using is also rather special, because you might have noticed when you equip some other masks in this game, from accessories options for example, I think I need to switch. Oh, okay, I can just do this. So let's select something like this. You see this on a lot of outfits, people wear this, they really like it. But if we go into first person, you can see at the edges of the screen this darker stuff, and it makes spotting targets at the edges significantly more difficult. And even in general, if we just switch back, you can see the difference. Yeah, it's almost like you see more, and especially with the default FOV in this game, this is quite a massive advantage. This half mask is one of the few that is usable for this. It's number 90. I think there's maybe another version with the different font. And there are also the ones I have on this outfit. This one doesn't affect, and a bunch of the other ones that cover almost your entire head. Those typically don't obstruct your vision, but those that have like a slit for the eyes or something like that, they do obstruct your vision. Some of the other ones even affect the color. You can see, like, when you equip some of the helmets or masks, you can see like the entire screen turns red when you are in first person, which is really annoying. Similar with the glasses. I'm just using these ones because they cover the side of the head, so to make it a little harder to spot, but generally I don't really use them on most of the outfits. And there are similar issues with them. Some of them affect your first-person vision. I think the only ones that are sort of acceptable, and you have seen me probably use them in the past videos, are the ski goggles that only slightly make your vision darker, which is sort of acceptable. But I would generally stay away from anything that obstructs your first-person view. Another thing you can have on your head, which people typically don't talk about, and you might have noticed in some of these outfits, is your hairstyle. Yes, this is a part of the clothing in this game. I didn't code it, that's why you may have noticed. The hairstyle I have on these clothing pieces is number 24. If I take off the helmet, you will see this better, and I will soon tell you exactly what it does and why it is so powerful. Okay, I probably won't be able to do this through this menu. Yeah, it doesn't want to show me. Okay, whatever. I guess you will have to believe me. But you can see there is no hair on my character. But if I switch the visor up, you can see there's like another pair of night vision, and that comes from this hairstyle. You get it from equipping the night vision equipment on the weapon store, the ammunition. And what it does when you combine it with the thermal helmet, it allows you to reduce the number of clicks you need to get the thermal vision, because normally you would scroll down like this like 5 times. Now I can just click here on night vision and I get the same effect. This is also usable in vehicles. So, for example, I can just steal one. Oh my god! Okay, that one doesn't.
Idiot.
Open roof.
Right on.
Come on, game. Don't make this take longer. If I enter, you will see my helmet disappears. I can reach my camera closer to a wall. And you can see, now I have no helmet on. I still have the Hawk mask, funny enough, and you can see the night vision better. But now if I go into CEO, I go to Management, and I change this style back and forth, I suddenly have the helmet. And now I can go to accessories and activate the night vision, and I get it. Which is quite insane if you think about it, because this does work with jets and other vehicles. Even in the side of the tank or Avenger or whatever you might think can benefit massively from using thermal vision. Especially the vehicles that have rather long range benefit a lot. So then there is only the accessory or earpiece or whatever you want to call it. It generally isn't very visible on female characters, and you can probably ignore it in like 99% of the outfits. Let's go over to how to say it, body of the character works, because it's not so simple as it may seem. First of all, you have the regular tops on your character. Like for example, this is a regular top, like you can see it here. If I update current, this would fall in the category of top 1, or in general just the thing you wear on the top of your body. But there is also another option, top 2 it is called in this tool, but people usually refer to it as undershirt. And that is, for example, in some of these outfits I have, it actually represents the carrier for the armor plates, or this vest, or however you want to call it. Or in some other ones, it can be the belt you have on your character. Or most commonly, people don't even notice it, when you use some sort of jacket like this, it's this thing in the middle.
That's from our exclusive line.
It also doesn't have typically the texture around it, so it looks rather strange if you use any of the sites. I recommend you. You will just see some weird cutouts. Yeah. This enables you to have a lot of different combinations if you just understand these two things, that there's a significant difference between what you wear on top and underneath it. However, there are also some interesting things regarding the shape of the character's body that, for example, enable me to use the invisible outfit. And the body of the character is defined by the gloves you are wearing. I know this sounds weird as hell, but that's how the game is coded. The gloves determine the shape of your body. So if you would, for example, pick gloves like on this outfit, then you can't see the arms of her right now. Also, while we are at the gloves, I will show you a massive thing. Have you noticed, when you look at my character from a distance, see, she does not turn orange. Her hands and legs don't turn orange. Wait, what are you talking about? If we take on a generic outfit, you can see the edges of her legs, especially in the darker spot, turn orange. When I, for example, use the RC drone, and I look at my character from a distance, you can see the further away I go, the more orange her legs and hands become. Like right now, her legs are completely orange. You might need to zoom in to see it better, but it's actually a really nice way to spot people, like actual players, from these NPCs. Because, for example, that guy's legs, that woman's legs, don't turn orange, unlike the ones on most characters. That's why you see these pants I'm wearing right now being quite popular among people doing PvP. They probably don't even realize why, but this is the reason why. These ones don't turn orange. No matter how I would zoom out, there's no orange outline on them. And same with the gloves. These gloves are number 111 in the tool. You can see them right here. And the trousers are number 61. There are a lot of color combinations. There is also a version for a bunch of the camo patterns. And that's 90. This is one of the most important things you don't realize in a combat against another player is when you want to shoot someone, you first need to notice where they are. You first need to understand where you are even trying to aim. You often look at, for example, outside of this window and you try to notice, is he here? Is he here? Is he standing right there? And when their body parts turn orange, which is just horrible as camouflage, you can notice them right away. That's why you see a lot of these outfits I would use for combat to have these gloves and trousers. There are a couple other ones, like the racing ones, the really big ones, but these ones are also slimmer. I think these are from the flight suits for those of you playing console, if you want to merge them on somehow. Then there are the accessories, which can be, for example, in this case, a scarf, which I would probably recommend to cover your neck when you are using a half mask like this one, so it's even harder to spot you, and in general looks slightly better. Or you can also use it to have the pouches when you have the right numbers, like here on her armor. Here in this tool it's called scarf, but typically it's called accessory. It's number 102. There are a bunch of these. And then there is also the slot for armor, which you can see me wear right now. An interesting thing regarding armor is there are various sizes. For example, this one is one of the bigger ones, and for example, number, I think it was 7 or 8, it's one of the smaller ones. You can see this is much tighter on her, but it doesn't look very good on this outfit currently, but I use it on some of the other ones. So there are various shapes of armor in this game, but that's mostly for aesthetics, it doesn't give you anything. And there are also, for example, the CEO vests, management style. This one, for example, this is also a piece of armor. Okay, I can't even access it right now because Rockstar considers it too overpowered. If you could just equip some clothing, for example, this one could use slightly tighter armor. So then we go into the another very important slot for PvP, and that's the legs or trousers. Typically, to reduce the stuff turning orange, I use these graphic settings. You can find these on my Discord. Everything on low, and shader quality for some reason on high. Also, ambient occlusion helps with seeing stuff when you have thermal vision. You can see this is quite low. If I would turn the graphics down completely, her legs would already be almost half orange. So this setting helps a lot. And that's generally the most important thing. What you need to remember about these outfit pieces. There are also shoes. Those are practically purely aesthetic. Except one exception. And that was the outfit right here. Which you would say, okay, why does it have different shoes than this one? Or this one? Like, what the hell, Adam? What's the point? Well, let me show you something. Let me quickly teleport to the beach. And you will see the interesting difference this makes. You can see this outfit only has these one shoes. Everything else is normal, like t-shirt, the trousers. So when I use this green one, or this one, and I jump into water, nothing particularly special happens, right? I just swim around normal. But if I use the other one, you'll see something interesting happen. And suddenly I have the scuba gear on me. This allows me to swim much faster through the water. Especially underwater. Like, this is like twice, 3 times faster than the normal swimming. And that's all because of the selection of shoes. These are number 72, and I also think 71 works just as well. So yeah, I think that's most of the most important things covered. For example, you might wonder what the hoodie is on this character. This isn't a hoodie, this is a regular sweater, and it's just the right number for the undershirt, because it comes from a couple of the outfits. And regarding these pink ones, or purple, there is pink, purple, orange and green. These are from adversary modes, but these clothing pieces are not really equipable in these adversary modes, at least not all of the combinations. And these ones have some special properties I wanted to add here at the end. For example, the gloves I have on right now, if I go to the store again, these supposedly unobtainable clothing pieces have the weird property where they don't break combinations of clothing. I will show you some examples just as I teleport. This is job teleporting. For those of you unaware, you just click on the job, you launch it using the same key as for the thermals, and you then just press right mouse button just as it loads and then enter to leave it. If we go in here, I have gloves number 215. If I would equip, for example, this one, and put gloves 215 on it, it will not work. Or rather, it will work for a split second, and then they will turn back like this. It sometimes can be even several seconds. The only difference here is that here I'm using the special pink t-shirt that is normally unobtainable. This also, interestingly, applies to, for example, the long gloves from the dresses. You can see the shoulders here, but they shouldn't unequip. While when I select this outfit and I put them on, it will soon break. Yeah, just like that. That's why the number 111 gloves are so important. You also need to be wary of some items that are blacklisted. Those are typically the parts of the cop outfit, like the cop belt, the shirt. So not these ones, which I use here in this recreation, but the lower numbered ones, typically. Like here I have the belt number 189 or something like that. But if you equip the similar looking belt, I think it was number 52 or something, it will basically cause the game to mark your outfit as not allowed, and it will delete your entire outfit. It will just vanish from here.
I don't know why I even bother. I barely make enough to buy weed, let alone
yeah, and for those of you who stayed here all the way to the end, I will show you the invisible outfit numbers, so you can use it easily. Yeah, this is it. It's all you need. And if you are using the special hairstyle, you don't want to be using the earpiece together with it. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, tell your friends about it. You will probably meet hundreds of people in this game that are great PvP players, but they have no idea how this works. Or you will see people trying to make nice looking outfits and completely failing because they either don't use such tools or they have no idea how they work. And therefore they can't know what things to combine. Yeah, and I hope you enjoyed this video and it helped you or something like that. The worst case is you will just not use this and I will have an advantage against you. So there is literally nothing I have to lose. Go leave a negative comment and dislike the video. That will just mean less people will know about this. So yeah, that's all for today. Have a nice day.